It wasn't a solid, but it wasn't a liquid.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes on a Friday night. Well, actually, we're recording it Friday. You'll get this Saturday over the weekend, maybe next week going into next week's episode. But this is Tuck Rule Takes. This is episode 93, the Richard Seymour episode. Yes. Richard Seymour.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait, you said 83 or 93?
93.
Okay.
This is 93. Yes. 93. Richard Seymour episode of Tuck Rule Takes. I am Mike Sullivan. Al is here. Liam's here. Big football's back, guys. Football's back. Training camp started. Basically, that's going to be a big chunk of today's episode, obviously. Bunch of shit going on, bunch of players, contract things, all that. There's a little bit of Dalvin Cook news. No DeAndre Hopkins news, which is, I think this is what the first episode where we'll have no DeAndre Hopkins. News,
I did see a clip of him though.
Yeah, he's there. He looks weird. He looks like he
caught a
strikes
pass,
me
so that's cool.
as Julio Jones. Like the pictures that they had of him very much reeks of Julio Jones.
And the 7 other receivers that have gone to hell when they went to Tennessee.
All of them. We have some things we want to touch on real quick before we get into it, but I do just want a disclaimer out there. I don't think I told either of you guys. If you are someone who hacks people's bank card information or anything, you deserve to be strung up in the streets and have the shit beaten out of you. Over the weekend, I had $2,100 taken from my card. I was coming back from work on Saturday, long day, stressful. I'm running around delivering your goddamn packages for Amazon. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop at Wawa. I'm going to get some food, maybe some salad and meatballs. That's my go-to meal. I know it sounds weird, but a salad and meatballs.
I like
that's
that. Good meal.
6 meatballs and a nice Caesar salad. I go to swipe the thing.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good. I was pumped about it. I think I even got like one of the big things.
Do you put the meatballs in the salad? That's
no. That's too much.
Good.
That's too much. I'm not a psycho.
Good.
I'm not a sociopath.
Good.
I'm sitting there swiping the thing. It says decline. I'm like, this can't be right. I look at TD. I'm like, oh, negative $913 right now. I was like, oh no. I look, just $100 charges at Wawa. At Wawa, my own family forsaken me. I go there so much. Just $100, $98, $70, $100. I'm like, you fucking motherfuckers. So I end up going to the bank on Monday and everything's good. But just a disclaimer, if you do that, you know what? Even if you get one thing, that's fine. Don't run up a $2,169 fucking tab on someone. Nice. Okay. Because it's annoying. It's annoying.
Listen, I had the same thing happen to me with my card. Had $1,500 taken. And there just some scammer was able to get it back. But yeah, those people that want to scam cards and just not want to work and just make an honest living, like piss off. Like just I hope you enjoy that money because karma's going to catch up with you. You're going to find yourself behind bars if you continue to do what you're doing. It's ridiculous.
Karma does catch up.
This totally sounds like a you guys problem. It's never happened to me. You guys should probably just stay off the hub.
It happened to me, not even, and this isn't even that. This is kind of, you said karma's going to get you. So my brother got his wisdom teeth taken out this weekend, and karma, it makes sense because Christmas Eve, like 8 years ago, I was ready to go. I was going to buy a bunch of stuff or whatever. My brother spent $1,800? I forget how much, but he spent a shit. It was like $800 or something like that, buying shit on Xbox because or like PlayStation, because my card was attached to the thing. And when I confronted him about it, he said, "Oh, I don't know what happened. I just kept going. I couldn't stop." I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean you just couldn't stop? What do you mean you couldn't stop? Like, this isn't it. No one was forcing you. You had to click the button and go through. But either way, if you do that, you're a dickhead. Just don't. Or if you do it, just don't do it to me. Liam, I feel like you have done that, which is you keep making your faces. Hey, so I feel like you
got to make money somehow, you know?
You might moonlight as a bank card.
The world needs people like that, you know? The world needs the Saudi Arabian prince who calls the old people and goes, "Hey, there's a ton of money for you in an offshore account if you just give me your routing number, your social security number." The world needs people like that because you take advantage of stupidity. If you're going to be stupid and get your information stolen, well, then that's play stupid games, win stupid.
You want to know how stupid I was too? They texted me. TD texted me the next day and they said, "Was this charge you?" It didn't say how much it was or anything, but it just said, Wawa gas, whatever. And I was like, yeah, I go to Wawa. I think that day I went there because I was picking up my wife from the airport. So I was like, yeah, it was me. I hit yes. I opened the door for these motherfuckers. If I would have said no, it would have shut it off right there. And when I was at the bank figuring it out, the guy was like, yeah, so it looks like if you would have said no to that, and I cut him off. I was like, no, I know. I already went over this with myself. I know it was me. I
cost myself a lot of money.
I'm very aware I played an integral part in this. That's what I said to him. 100%. He was like, okay.
You were complicit.
Stupidity.
I'm on the side of the hackers here. You guys just got to be smarter.
I get it. Actually, I think I might have talked myself into their side too. But so Al, I got a text from Al, Liam and I did earlier today, right? Today was the day. And you said that you had some things that you were going to bring up that were going to annoy both Liam and I. So
I believe the correct word was aggravate.
Aggravate was the word, which is good because I think for a podcast, when we get started, I feel like, there should be some sort of get the blood boiling. So Al, the floor is yours, sir. Okay. Aggravate away.
All right. So Liam's got two things that he's a bonehead for. Mike, I'm going to get yours out of the way. I feel like you're going to get more mad because Liam knows what I'm about to say right here.
Oh, shit.
So I went to Patriots training camp on Wednesday and Thursday, the first 2 days. I was very fortunate. Brought my girlfriend on Wednesday, went with a bunch of buddies on Thursday. It was a good time. Sorry, I brought my girlfriend Wednesday, buddies on Thursday. Now I got straight. But anyways, on Thursday, the Patriots had a special guest. You know how guests will come to practice and stuff, like big names and stuff like that? Would you like to know who the guest was on Thursday, Mike?
Ronnie Perkins.
He's on the team, knucklehead. I'm talking like guests that are not on the team.
Still special. No, I know. Who was it? Just tell me. Who was it?
Jonas Gray.
Oh, no, my man. Oh, you must have. Did you get autographs, pictures? Everything?
I didn't see him. He
was there how can you not see him? He's built like a house. I don't know how
he's really not. He's small.
A small house. Our house is not small. He's built like a small house. Jonas Gray.
Like one of those.
Jonas Gray was a guest at Patriots practice.
Oh, motherfucker. I wish I was there. Were people swarming him? I would have been swarming him.
No. From what I heard, no.
These fucking people don't know greatness. This is why our fan base is failing. We don't know greatness. It's right in front of us.
I really don't know many people that would be crowding around to get a Jonas Gray autograph.
I would have, and I would have got the crowd going. I was the guy. This is JG 35. Let's go.
And you know what the crowd would have done? Nothing.
Kane, collectively.
No, probably not. They probably would have pointed and laughed.
That was my chance. I could have hung out with him. No one would have known.
You could have. You could have. Yeah, you fucked that one up.
Missed opportunity, bud.
When he told me, I was like, oh, God, Mike's going to flip his shit.
You should have took a picture and been like, oh, like this.
I didn't want to rub it in. It would have been like pouring salt in the wound, and I didn't want to do that to you, but I was thinking of you.
Well, awesome. I was probably thinking of Jonas Gray. Happens once a day. So
there you go.
Wow, that's
son of a bitch.
That's excessive.
Once a day on the special times. Once in the morning, once at night.
Right.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Talking
all right. So yours is out of the way. Liam.
Annoying.
Yeah.
So Liam's an idiot. We all know this. But here's the first reason why.
It's already worse than mine. You're getting insulted.
So this person right here, we tell him, and I communicated with him. I said, Liam, training camp is at 9:30 on Thursday. Let us know when you're coming. We're going to tell you exactly what section we're in so you can find us, sit down. We're going to have a good time. So we actually had a little wager going on. We're like, okay, over under what time Liam's going to get there. Some people said 10:15. Some said 10:30. I was nice, and I'm like, you know what? I think he's going to get here like 9:45. A little late, but not too late. This buffoon texts me at about 10:30 and is like, fuck. I set my alarm for 8:00 p.m. Not 8 a.m. 8:00 p.m. and missed the training camp.
Yeah.
And then when I told my friends, I'm like, yep, Liam's not coming. They're like, not surprised.
This is the first time I bailed. I've been there 3 years.
Yeah, but you remember last year you were violently hungover last year when you came. You looked like you hated your life.
Which is probably why I set my alarm for 8 p.m. because I went to bed at 5 a.m. after drinking all night.
There was no way you were getting up.
I gave you so much heads up, so much 100%, preparation.
Totally, yeah. But you go out, the drinks get flowing. You're like, let's go. stay up all night and proceed to drink more.
Hey, you just don't love the Patriots. It's
all
okay.
of us.
I
Nope,
understand.
that's certainly not it. Because I had all
That's
intention.
certainly not it.
I didn't have shit to do for the rest of the day besides the rehearsal dinner, which who gives a fuck about that? I could have slept through it. So I was going to go to training camp, come back, get a good midday nap in, and be fine. But yeah, no, I woke up and I was like, oh, it's 10:30. Fuck that one up. I expressed my disconcern with Al, and then
I can give him that. He did. I'll give you that.
I was furious. I woke up and I was like, "Where's my alarm?" I thought I woke up early. I thought it was like 6 in the morning, and I woke up to piss. And I looked at the clock. I was like, "This can't be right." I was like,
I'm gonna look up
I made a
text.
terrible mistake.
Just for the sake of it, just for content purposes.
Oh my god.
Here is the text. Let's see. So I told him the section. I asked him for his ETA, so estimated time of arrival. 7 F-bombs. I set me alarm, not my alarm. I set me alarm for 8 p.m.
I did wake up still drunk, so I would have drunk
word.
there if I woke up on
His
time.
next one was F and C word, and then he goes, dude. I respond, sheesh. He goes, I'm effing the word that begins with R that I'm not going to say. Liam, you can say it if you'd like.
Probably should.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. And I said it happens, and he just goes, that's so shitty. I'm sorry, dog. That was an all-time blunder.
Yeah.
And then I told him, yeah, all good. But then we talked for a couple of minutes. But yeah, that was that was you screwed that one up. You did.
I just picture Al. I picture Al being like, "Hey, ETA, like he's getting ready. They're all thinking he's like, oh, I'm going to see Liam soon." Meanwhile, Liam ETA. What?
He wasn't even awake yet. He wasn't even
awake
I
woke up like an hour and a half after. Al sends that ETA text. I'm alone on my back, passed out around like a bunch of empty beer cans in my bed. One of them, I went to bed with an open beer, woke up and I had spilled it all over my bed. Thought I pissed myself.
One does.
Turns out I did not piss myself. It was just beer. But yeah, no. So Al was like, he'll be here any second. Lights out.
That's what he was thinking.
No
Al probably sent the text, and then like when you didn't answer, he was like, "Oh, he's probably he might not have service because he's on his
safe.
way."
Yeah, like he's
doing this.
Like with normal people.
I bet he's in the parking lot. Yeah, and it's like
in a movie that's the scene that would happen, and it'd be Al looking at his friends, being like, "Don't worry, guy. He's probably just grabbing a drink or something at the gas station. We don't know."
And
then the camera, then the camera would cut to Liam just dead on the floor, just dead.
Yeah, just a corpse. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was tough. I had every intent. I set my alarm. I had every intent of getting 4 hours of sleep and going. But yeah, that totally just didn't happen.
You dumb boy.
Always next year, bud. Always next year.
There is, and I will be there next year. Hell or high water.
Yeah, we'll see.
I will. I likely won't be up drinking so late next year.
Good.
Likely. Not impossible, but likely.
So that's the first thing. So the second thing is, so along with my friends, I brought one of my students with me. Great kid, he's going into 8th grade. He's like a little brother.
Good thing I didn't show up.
He's like a little brother. He's like a little brother to me. He really is. Big football kid. His cousin actually works for Nessa, believe it or not.
No shit.
But
okay. Cool.
But anyways, so it's his first training camp.
I would have said some not so becoming things.
Oh, I would have told you. I would have said, listen, you're not saying this and this. You can say anything else, but you're not saying this and this. Otherwise, I will have to hit
Liam,
you.
do not talk to the child.
Yeah.
That would be the edict that would be placed out.
Like, we're not even going to take the risk. Just pretend he's
20
not here.
feet at all times.
Exactly. And so it's the kid's first training camp, so we go to the camp. He gets some autographs. He actually got Ramondre Stevenson's autograph, which was pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
he got
the running back he got.
Drake.
That's the running back he got.
Mike,
not Jonas Gray.
Jonas Gray was Wednesday. This was Thursday, bud.
He
wasn't there Thursday.
This kid was probably like 3 years old when Jonas Gray went off, so he has no idea who the fuck
he doesn't, and
he'll find out.
So he goes to get a jersey
because no one will ever find out about Jonas Gray ever again.
So then so we go to the pro shop. Like I got this nice Patriots long sleeve, the red long sleeve. Got my girlfriend a shirt, and then he wants to get a jersey, and I'm like, all right, yeah, go get your jersey. So he gets a nice jersey. They didn't have it in the size that he wanted.
Aaron Hernandez.
This young man made the great choice of getting the white short sleeve Patriots jersey with one Juju Smith-Schuster on the back of his jersey. 'Twas a great choice. 'Twas an excellent choice. He wanted it. I had no influence over him. I swear on everything. I had no influence over it. He picked Juju.
Juju is for the kids. Juju is bringing in new fans, or not even new. He's bringing in the younger fans. That's part of why he's here.
Great move.
I see zero downfalls with this gentleman so far. Zero. I think Liam might be frozen.
No,
there
he was
is.
contemplating. He was contemplating everything about his life right there.
Oh yeah.
No,
I know. You could
it's
tell.
honestly, it's a blessing that I slept through my alarm because it would be very
makes sense.
unbecoming of me to say the things that I would have said to a child. If he had bought that jersey in front of me, I would have been mean. So
No, I would not have allowed you to be mean, because if you were mean to him, I was gonna. No, I would have stopped that
you can't
right in
really
its tracks.
stop that. Yeah.
If you're saying it to us, fine. But if you say that to a kid, I ain't gonna stand for that.
I mean, like I get it. He's part of the TikTok generation. Instead of going outside and doing something fucking cool, he does some lame ass dances in his living room and then goes to school,
TikTok's
gets the shit
outside.
kicked out of him,
That's what he does.
and gets thrown in a locker. I get it. He's part of that TikTok generation where they idolize.
Oh, you're talking the kid. I thought you were talking Juju.
No, I'm talking the kid.
Oh, no. You're not gonna. No. I'm not
No,
gonna
he's a
allow this.
loser. It's fucking.
I thought we were talking Juju.
It's the TikTok. It's the TikTok.
Oh,
No, Juju sucks too.
on,
Don't get me
man.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. But he's a TikTok kid. He probably
Liam,
buys
you're picking
Prime
on a
too.
13-year-old kid.
That's fine. He buys Prime too. I bet because it's all advertised
He
through
actually
TikTok.
doesn't. He told me he
Really?
hates
Okay,
Prime.
good. Well, the rest of them do.
I buy Prime.
And,
I've tried a Prime. I've tried a Prime.
but either way, like, yeah, there are going to be a lot of Juju sales for the people who have TikToks and do those
Yes,
lame
there are.
fucking dances.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's the sole reason. It's not because he's good or he's going to produce. It's like, ooh, we can do the gritty. No, that's the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Oh, I hate the gritty. I'm
Justin
there with
Jefferson
you
on the
that
cover of Madden doing the gritty makes
Hate
me
it.
want to pour acid
Hate it.
into my eyes. It's
Hate it.
terrible.
No,
So
I'll
that's
sound
the only
like
reason. I'm not
Yeah, I
surprised he
agree.
got a Juju jersey because, like, who else are you supposed to idolize that's on the team? Like, if your attention span is 3 seconds and you're watching clips of weirdos on TikTok, like, I get it, but it's stupid, and I don't condone his jersey purchase. And if I was there, I would have been mean, and especially because I'd be hungover, so I'd have absolutely no patience.
Oh yeah, no, you'd be
I-
angry mean.
I probably would have burned that jersey at the stake.
Oh, then we would have gotten into a fight.
Yeah.
Well, I think we are. I think we're sufficiently lubed up and warmed up now for
Think so.
for
I'm
the
feeling nice
for the
and lubed.
topics now. So I was gonna start with Juju, but I think we'll take time off. We'll go to someone else.
Please.
Yeah, but you
We
know,
don't,
actually
we don't
something-
even have to circle around to that. Or just,
something
We're good.
something I want to get out of the way because I do want to talk about kind of something that's come up with Matthew Judon, who hasn't been practicing.
GM
He's
of the
been
year?
there, but he's been on the sidelines and everything. But I kind of want to segue, and Al, I'm just gonna need your help just to
Yeah.
kind of open this one up there.
Sure.
Ted Johnson, former Patriot, won a couple Super Bowls, right? If I remember correctly, he won what?
Yeah, I
Two?
think he won
He won 2, right? Didn't he?
3.
3. He was a part of the 3. Okay.
At least the
Um,
01 team. We know 100% he was on the
52.
01
Okay,
team.
I'll look at it. Actually, I don't even care because I don't like him right now. But
I'll look
what-
it up.
what did he about Matthew Judon? He said that Judon was overrated, right? What was like the context of that though? Like, why were they talking about that?
So they were talking about Judon not participating fully in practice on Wednesday and Thursday. They were also talking about a rumor that Phil Perry supposedly said that Judon's camp kind of wants a better contract because amongst pass rushers, he has like the 20th highest, contract right now, which isn't, not very high.
Not great. Yeah, not great.
Exactly. And they were just talking. So it was Ted Johnson, Scott Zolak, and Matt Hardy-Poole on Zolak and Bertrand, 98.5 Sports Hub. And they were just talking about Judon. And then I think they mentioned just like his production over the past 2 years. And then Ted Johnson was kind of like, not going to lie, I think he's a little bit overrated. Now I'm paraphrasing. He did say a little bit overrated. I know that part 100%.
Mhm.
First part's a little foggy, but basically said a little bit overrated. And I texted you guys about it. I almost called in. I was very tempted to call in. But then at the same time, I'm like, it's not worth it. Like Ted Johnson has had so many concussions throughout his career that like I feel bad for him. No, but he has. Like it's very well noted that
he made such a ludicrous statement that you have to question his cognitive ability. You're like, I just don't think he has it anymore.
I genuinely feel bad for him because he quit playing after 2004 because of all the concussions he had. So you got to feel for him, you know, on a human level. But like the take and stuff, I'm like, and he won 3 Super Bowls, by the way. So he did win the first 3 Super Bowls.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, it's like, okay, this is somebody that has 28 sacks in the 2 seasons he's been with the team. Yeah, you could say the ending of his seasons haven't been great, which I think we can agree, like 2021, 2022, the very end of the season.
Yeah, they always kind of fade out.
He would fade out.
The whole team faded out in that
in that first season that he was in,
2021. And then
that sucks.
But again, why are you saying that the best defensive player and arguably the best player on your team is a little overrated? I didn't quite understand it. I thought it was kind of ludicrous to kind of say that. And Judon should get paid. Yeah, he's about to turn 31, but he should be getting a new contract for his production. Give him a 3-4 year extension.
He definitely should. And my thing with Ted Johnson is he's kind of came out of nowhere. So not like nowhere, like he like no one knew who he was. He's kind of come on NBCSN, all that stuff, and just, he's become that voice that is like that constant contrarian. He's basically become the Twitter voice, where if Twitter always negative. Exactly. Yeah. So he comes up and you're gonna call Matthew Judon overrated. Overrated. Okay, maybe you overrate yourself, you fucking loser. You started 5 games in 2001. You played 12. You played 14 games in 2002. Did the Patriots win a Super Bowl in 2003, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yes, they did. Ted Johnson played 8 fucking games that year. So what did you provide? You worthless piece of shit. You know what you are? You are Walmart brand Rob Ninkovich. Everybody has this fascination with you because you're a part of you're with the team since 95, who from 95 to 2000, you did shit. So not sure how much of an impact you make, but it's just you talking to you, Ted Johnson, everybody, like your fans who seem to love you. Up until Ted Johnson started talking shit, I had nothing bad to say about him. He was great. Like Teddy Bruce, he was my favorite guy from that era. You got McGinnis, you got Vrabel, you got all those types of guys. Ted Johnson, to me, I put him in the same thing as Brian Cox, where you liked them, but they weren't, the big guy, but they were your Rob Ninkovich type guys. If you want to bring it to now, Ted Johnson,
I like Cox.
Bro. Yeah. I like all of them, but you are sitting there talking like you have this supreme knowledge of Bill Belichick. Belichick got there in what, 2000 or was it 2001? When Belichick got there, he got there in 2000.
Don't forget. Hold on, don't forget too. And this is true. Belichick was under Parcells.
Yeah,
when he was there in 95 as a defensive coordinator. So he did play for Belichick, not as the head coach, but as a defensive coordinator. So he did have that time.
That 1 year. With him. Correct. Yep. But then he also was around for the 4 years when Belichick got there as the head coach. So
yes,
you were
okay. I see what you mean.
So you were around Belichick for a handful of years. You talk like Scott Zolak talks, where Zolak talks like he was intricate with fucking Belichick for 15 years. He was in the QB room sucking the dick and, holding the clipboard and doing all this shit. No, you have these players who were there for like a cup of coffee before Belichick could really get going. And they talk like they know the ins and outs of everything. Ted Johnson, don't you fucking dare call Matthew Judon overrated. Matthew Judon, every single year, he's a dark horse to be potentially a defensive player of the year if he lives up to his potential. He had 15 and a half sacks last year. I think that's what you guys said. Yeah. Liam and I were sitting there talking about, would he break DeMarcus Ware's record if he gets to a certain point? He fell off a little bit at the end of the year, but like we said too, the whole team kind of did a little bit. Ted Johnson as well. Shut the fuck up talking about Mac Jones, and we'll talk about that in a second. You're sitting there saying that Mac Jones is still traumatized from last year because he's not talking so much. Maybe there's something going on behind the scenes where they're making it so, maybe Mac Jones shouldn't talk. Does he look happy? I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Why do you have to be so negative talking about this team? I don't get it. What is the fascination, the fucking fetish with these ex-players, Asante Samuel, talking so negative about these players? I mean, about this team. I don't get it. I don't understand why the
That's an
local
incredible
media,
point. I do
players,
like that.
everybody included, you all suck.
Does anyone have anything good to say about the Patriots anymore?
No one.
It does seem so ridiculous.
Even the good shit they say, they'll say like, "Oh, Mac Jones had whatever, had a nice touchdown to Devontae Parker, corner of the end zone." But then he also had a pick, his first throw of the day to Kyle Duggar. He also did this. He also did that. They can't. They're like the fucking loser, like thinking about movie critics who will say something good about a movie, but they're physically incapable of staying in that good space. So they have to say something negative because it's like it fucking eats away at them, like they have fucking ADD about it or something. It's so stupid. Ted Johnson, fuck off, you blockhead. 28 concussions. Go away. Just go away. You look like fucking Easter Island head dumbass sitting there next to Felger and everybody else, Tommy Curran going back and forth. Oh, this team, are they going to win? What about Bill? This and that. You were here for a few years. Go away, dude. No one thinks about you anymore.
Now let me ask you this, Mike. With your point that you said about people reporting about the good and the bad, are you talking specifically about Ted Johnson alone, or are you lumping in everybody else? The reason I'm asking is because the guys like Evan Lazar and Andrew Callahan and Mike Kadlick, like, yes, they're doing their job. They're reporting about what's happening. Like, yes, the first play, I think it was on Friday.
The first play of training camp, the first throw by Mac Jones, I think, of training camp. Yeah.
Yeah, the first throw was a pick, but I'm talking on Friday, day 3, first pass, and they all mentioned it. Great pass to Hunter Henry, caught a contest in the end zone for a touchdown. The point I'm trying to make is, I think that the reporters are being fair when they go on Twitter about like, oh, this play happened and then this play and then this play and then this play. But yes, if you're talking about the reporters and they're being exclusively negative about this team, like I said in the text message, and tell me if you guys agree with this, all NFL teams have their good and bad areas. It just so happens that some teams have a lot more bad areas than other teams.
Yeah.
It's weird that the Patriots' bad area for their media is their own fucking hometown, though. That's the thing. And it's just not that like the reporters don't say any positive things. Like they'll report on plays that happen and stuff like that. But when they're not talking about specific plays, 95% of these lemmings, of these incels, when they talk, it's slanted in a negative light. Every single thing, or you're talking about how many more times do I have to see people throwing the words competition and Bailey Zappi in the same tweet? There's no competition. Stop. Just stop. And I'm not even talking about fans. I'm talking about people report. Why do we even care about that? But it's because, and you can tell because they're the same reporters who last year were saying that Zappi should start, and now going into this year, there's going to be a thing. Belichick has said they'll say like, oh, the QB competition, they'll talk about Bailey Zappi, and then someone will come at them and be like, why do you keep bringing that up? They're like, I'm just reporting the thing. So they throw their hands up because they have the ultimate fallback thing. Because it's like, I'm just saying what's going on. I don't know. It's a 90% of them. Obviously, there's some good ones out there. There's some that aren't always negative, but it's frustrating. And this year's going to be insufferable. You can already see it. And Liam, I'm sorry, I cut you off, Ben. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. My headphone gave out. Of course it did. First time it's happened in a while, but it did happen. So I was out of there.
It's all you today, man. What?
But
last week wasn't it something too? The Wi or whatever.
It was.
No, that was Al with the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and that happens all the time. But
true.
Reagan, I was like, yep, it's my trademark. Yeah, you made a great point where it does seem like no one has anything good to say about the Patriots, but you look at any other team, like Browns reporters can find good things to say about the Browns, and I know I always shit on the Browns. They're actually a halfway decent team. But let's talk about like Matthew Judon for a second, because in 2 seasons,
let's get back to him.
Sacks, which is, I think that's pretty fucking incredible. Like 2 seasons, 28 sacks. That's a whole lot of production. In a recent poll among NFL personnel, he was ranked number 8 in terms of pass rushing. And ahead of him, they had Joey Bosa, Von Miller, Brian Burns, your boy, Max Crosby, Hassan Reddick, TJ Watt, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa. They got the Trump supporting twins on there, both of them. But what do we think about that list? So, I mean, we can go down chronologically. The guy right in front of Matthew Judon, Nick Bosa, pretty fucking good. Any complaints there that he would be above Judon? No, that kind of makes sense. Myles Garrett, also, the Grim Reaper of quarterbacks, he kind of makes sense too. I think it's tough. I think Judon's in the conversation against all these guys. Mike Parsons makes a lot of impact. I don't think he makes as much of an impact as Matthew Judon. Maybe that's my personal hatred of the Cowboys. Maybe that's my nuanced opinion. But I really think Micah Parsons is like a lot of hype, and he's pretty fucking good. He's a great athlete. But
yeah, he's good.
I don't think he's anything stellar. I would probably rather Judon than him. And then Hassan Reddick, monster, really good,
very good.
Yeah, he had an incredible year. But I think his incredible year was almost like this. His past year was better than any other year he's had. He's always been very solid. This last year in the Eagles system with every other great defensive lineman they had, they couldn't double him. So I think he got a lot of extra attention there. Max Crosby, everyone seems to be crazy about him. I don't watch enough Raiders games to know if he's actually as good as everyone seems to talk about him. Does anyone watch Raiders games?
I've only seen just like some of the highlights. I mean, he's good. He's definitely in the conversation. Like, I feel like I wouldn't, raise my eyebrow if you put him above Judon. So
okay, so it doesn't create pause for you, Al.
No.
Does that make sense? You don't like him over Judon?
No.
It makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Brian Burns.
I don't get that.
Here's the meat right here. Brian Burns. I know you fucking hate him, so let's get a nuanced opinion. Al, what are your thoughts on Brian Burns? Over and well over too. He's 6 names above friggin' Judon.
I like Brian Burns the player, but I don't think he's better than Judon and doesn't have the same production value that Judon has with the Patriots. So
yeah, and
give me
I don't
Judon.
know his numbers either. I think Judon has a lot more impact.
I got his numbers pulled up.
Last two seasons, give me a sacks.
Over the last 2 years, Judon's had what, 28?
Yep. 28, yep. 12 and a half in 2021.
On a team that isn't known for, pass rushing specialists and stuff. Burns has had 21 and a half.
21? Okay. So that's a pretty decent number less.
Yeah.
Von Miller, everyone seems to think he's still a world beater. I'm still not very impressed. Even when he won the Super Bowl with the Rams, I thought he was fine.
Even if you want to do it,
he's above average.
Name.
Yeah, he gets it just for the name. It's like Larry Fitzgerald making a Pro Bowl his last couple of years. It's like, he doesn't really do a whole lot, but it's a big name. I guess exactly. I get it. I would still rather Judon over Von Miller. And then Joey Bosa, arguably the best. I would say Myles Garrett, Joey Bosa are like the 2 best. But I don't know why Garrett was so far back. But I look at all these, and these were voted by NFL players. So they know more than us. And I would probably say they know a lot more than Ted Johnson, who's probably just trying to create headlines and be a hater. And that seems to be how 100%. Everyone bad news sells. You won't hear about a guy saving a bunch of kids from a fire. You're going to hear about a 3-car pile up on the 405. Like that's just how news works. So I get it. You want to say bad things, but I'm looking at this, and besides just the numbers, like his impact is incredible. Everyone remembers the first game of Judon's first season when he absolutely decapitated Tua, one of the many who have hurt Tua some sort of fiercely. And he just fucking destroyed him. And then it ended up being a pick on that play. Mm-hmm. His impact beyond the numbers, because he doesn't get a stat for that, but that's an impact play. And the amount of times that Judon gets in there, disrupts the play. When he played the Raiders this past season, Al was at the game. There were sound bites. I think Judon was mic'd up, and so was the fullback for the Ravens. And they had a conversation where the fullback tried to block him and was like, dude, you're screwing up all our plays. And obviously they were teammates, so they're friendly and they're talking shit. But his own teammate was like, dude, you're kind of fucking everything up for us. And I don't remember Judon's numbers from that game specifically, but he tore it up at the beginning of the season. Why do we think he fades off toward the end, though? Because most guys don't do that. In fact, the all-time great sack leaders get stronger toward the end. Michael Strahan has the record with 23 or something like that, and he really turned it up toward the end. Granted, Brett Favre and him are pretty tight, and Brett Favre let him get that record-breaking sack. That was a fucking disgrace, and I hate Brett Favre. Another reason to hate Brett Favre for that. But still, he's incredible nonetheless. Michael Strahan got better toward the end. Derek Thomas the same way, never really faded out through the seasons. Is it just fatigue? It's a 17-game season now. There's a lot more work. I want to know why he trails off so much, because the last 2 seasons, me and Mike have been like, damn, 20 sacks. We're thinking 17, 18, 20 sacks. We're looking on the higher spectrum, and he always plateaus in the mid-teens.
And with Judon, too, just one other thing. He's a team guy. I know that's a cliche, And I'm gonna read a couple tweets from Jeff Howe, who's an NFL national insider for The Athletic, and he said this about 20 minutes ago about Matt Judon's situation. The Patriots plan to limit outside linebacker Matthew Judon's workload during the first practices of training camp as a way to get him up to speed and ready to go, per source. Judon also hoped to rework his contract this offseason. They haven't yet found common ground. Now, here's the part that I like. Despite a lack of progress on the contract discussions this offseason, Judon told the team it won't be an issue with anything at practice or how he prepares for the season, per source. That's the type of guy that is handling it the right way. He's making it clear, yeah, I want to get paid a little bit more, but I'm still going to go out and do my job on Sundays. And those are the type of guys that you want in that building every single day and leading your defense.
Well, he's genuine because he gets on Twitter and talks about how he's a team guy and he's trying to get all these stud free agents to the Patriots, and he cares about the team and he cares about winning, wants to get back to the winning ways. But then it would be disingenuous of him if he said all that and then turned around and said, well, I'm holding out training camp in the season until I get a new deal. He's being genuine to himself. He's like, I want the team to win. I would like to get my money to, what'd you say he's ranked in, like or he's paid as if he's 20th, like the 20th best 20th, pass rusher or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What is it? 4 years, 54 million or something like that he's on. That seems like a handful of money to me, but I'm obviously not making even 1 million. So it's a biased point of view where I say that. I like him as a player. He probably does deserve to get paid. Do we think he's going to get paid from the Patriots? Probably fucking not.
I hope so, but I mean, another contract. I don't know.
We can say we've said I hope so about a ton of players.
For a lot of people,
I hope this happens. That's not how I really would have hoped they paid Jamie Collins the first time around. Instead, off to the Lions, buddy. Have fun. Enjoy the Motor City. That's just how it goes. And granted, I love Jamie Collins. Was never close to the production Matthew Judon got. We didn't pay Richard Seymour. This is the Richard Seymour episode. We didn't pay him. He went to the Raiders to get a big payday and then lose the rest of his career. That's how the Patriots roll.
I can't even think of him. The corner that we had that went to
J.C. Jackson.
J.C. Jackson.
Funny. We
all were like, hey, would be nice to pay him, but then he went.
Yep. And then it's like, we didn't miss him so much after he's gone. It's like, yes, everything feels like the end of the world when you're dealing with it. If we were to lose Matthew Judon, that would suck, and I would feel terrible. But there's always a next man up, especially for the Patriots. But I don't know. This is I'm just glad he's genuine, sticking to his guns, and actually cares. Somebody like that truly does deserve to get paid. There are a lot of guys that, like J.C. Jackson, where I'm like, pay the guy, but he doesn't actually deserve to get paid because he's kind of a jackass, and he went out there and he sucked last year. And just his overall personality, he's not about team winning. He wants to get paid. I respect it. Everyone wants to get their money, but also, if you're a part of the Patriots, you're about something bigger. This is the team. It's always been about the team. It's about the last 6 Super Bowls and then getting 6 more. And Judon doesn't care about his numbers. He gets these 28 sacks in 2 seasons by trying to play team football. So it's like, if he was selfish, motherfucker could probably get 20 sacks in a season. But that's not how he wants to roll. He wants Uche, who ate last year. Judon wants to take up blocks and get Uche some sacks too. He wants the team to win. He doesn't care if he doesn't record a single stat as long as we beat the fucking Buffalo Bills. And I love that spirit. And so and that's what all Patriots fans want. So I don't know. I love it. I'd love to see him get paid. I don't like Ted Johnson's negativity, but then again, we should be used to this. We get waterboarded in the ears by these fucking media people all the time. The negativity is never anything good coming out of the Patriots. It's never like, this player's really developing. It's, this guy just isn't performing up to speed. It's like, can you tell me about somebody who's good? Can we, but that's, like I said earlier, that's what sells. I get it. So those are my thoughts on it. Fuck Ted Johnson. I'd like to pay Judon, but either way.
All the things you said are correct. So would Judon strike you then as the person that would show up and pout on the sidelines then? No, not at all. And he said as much. Yeah, I was just going to say, he said it to the reporters when he said, I want to be here. I'm not going to talk about contracts. He called all the reporters snitches, which I thought was funny.
That was great.
And then he also, Asante Samuel popped his stupid ass head back up and said that, something, I'm paraphrasing, basically said that, talking about Judon possibly moving on because the Patriots don't pay anyone. He's upset with them. I believe he retweeted Dove Kleiman or whatever, that fake real person or whatever. And then Judon retweeted Asante Samuel and was like, he called Belichick what his one of his number one guys or something like that. He was like, money is never going to get in the way of that, Asante. So I think we can just put that all to bed. It was a cute little narrative for 24 hours when people were trying to spin it. But Judon wants to be here. The team obviously likes him, and there's no need to rush him back. No need to rush him back right now. You're in fucking week 1 of training camp.
Yeah.
No need to rush
I don't
him.
care if he sits out all of training camp, whether it's for good or bad reasons. Like, I know the motherfucker is going to be ready to ball week 1.
Yep.
He doesn't need to practice. What could Judon possibly gain from practicing? Like, at some point, like JJ Watt probably shouldn't have practiced this entire last season, because what is JJ Watt going to learn from practice? I get it. Stay limber, work out and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Learn the playbook. But when you're a pass rusher, you're going to one of 2 gaps. And if it's a pass, you're getting the quarterback. It's a very simple concept for pass rushers.
Yeah, it's just get there. So I think the Judon thing, we can move on from it. But I think, Al, unless you had any closing thoughts on it, on Judon and just kind of Ted Johnson's thoughts, I realize.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'd rather pay Judon sooner rather than later, but just get it done. I don't care if it takes till next offseason. I don't care when it gets done. Just get it done.
Do you guys think it gets done? Because the next guy that I want to bring up, it's kind of going to be relatively quick as well with him. But do you think that a Judon deal extension gets done? Doesn't matter when, like you said, Al, this offseason, next offseason. You think there's some sort of an extension?
Liam, what did you say?
No,
I think
totally
Liam
not.
said
Like,
no.
Yeah,
no, what has led us to believe that anyone would get paid? Like, no,
That's true.
I'd love to. No, I can't even think of an exception.
I have to agree with Liam. I don't see them getting it done, and this is going to be, this could be a big disappointment for fans, and this could be like, Belichick, what are you doing? This situation, you screwed up. It could be one of those deals.
Yeah.
I can hear the headlines now, but that's how it's always been. It's like, you let Wes Welker go. How could you do that? And then we won a ton of Super Bowls. It's like everyone, after everyone left.
Jacoby Myers,
right?
Sooner, not even at the level of Judon.
Totally.
And especially if Keon White does something, like if he turns out to be really good, it might be a little easier for them to be like, you know what, maybe we can get away with getting rid of Judon's contract down the line. But that's neither here nor there at this point.
Yeah, it's a problem for future us.
Yeah, I'm gonna for future us. I'm gonna go out on a limb and said I think he gets like a 2-year extension. And the reason why, I'm not being all sunshine and rainbows, because the next guy, again, there's a bunch of other shit to talk about training camp. I got a couple things. We'll kind of go around whatever anybody wants to talk about. Since we're talking about contracts, I'll bring them up. Kyle Duggar, 2 picks already. Dude is one of the most important explosive defensive players on the team. His thing is, we're going to extend Kyle Duggar. Belichick even said all these good things about him. And he said, those guys, that's why they get paid a lot of money. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Duggar gets swept off his feet by another team, possibly the Eagles. I'm just bringing up the Eagles because it's just, he seems like someone that would go there. Maybe Duggar, Dawkins, it's in my head. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, but I hope Kyle Duggar gets extended. But do I, or not even extend, just like re-sign, because he's still on his rookie deal. But like, I think Duggar is the one who, he is so good at a position that people will pay. I don't think Duggar gets done. And Al, this is where I think it's how you said about Judon. I think that same conversation about Duggar, where it's like Belichick, he drafts these guys, but then he doesn't want to pay his own guys. Like, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. Which in this case, there might be some validity depending on what the contract is way down the line or whatever. But you guys
look at it though. He's already drafted. He's already drafted his replacement, Marte Mapu. Like, who knows if he lives up to it? But we re-signed Jabril Peppers. I think it's another 1-year deal, so it's not like we'd have to worry about that after the season. But we talked about it when we talked about the outlook of this team. There are like 4 players, Adrian Phillips too. They all play the same fucking position. They all are the close safety, over the middle, out close to the line of scrimmage, making tackles. So there's so many other ones. Unless Duggar has like an incredible year, like he's had a really good year. The last 2 years, he's always been very solid. But unless he has like a Bob Sanders defensive player of the year type season where he just goes and balls out, a lot of picks, a lot of forced fumbles, huge impact, a lot of tackles around the line of scrimmage, and he's in that defense player of the year conversation, they're going to say, hey, Mapu learned under you. He'll figure it out. We'll make do without
The
having
cycle continues.
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah, but the world keeps spinning.
Yep.
See, this one I think gets done. Because I don't think
Belichick 5-year
deal,
4 or 5 year deal.
I don't think Belichick goes out of his way to say that type of comment. If he's not thinking in the back of his mind, just what you said, Mike, this is a position that gets paid. I want to jump on this early, try to sign him to a reasonable deal, and then work on the other parts of it. So I think Duggar ends up staying longer in New England than we think.
I can see Duggar staying more than Judon.
Yes.
But they both seem unlikely.
I hope so, and I can kind of go either way. I did kind of pick, just to kind of keep the conversation a little, spicy there with Judon. But I would rather have Duggar signed, not because I think I still love Judon and all that. I would rather have a young guy at safety. We've seen how good he is. I mean, in my eyes, he's just as good as Judon when it comes to his position. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think it would be awesome, but I mean, he's so good. And I mean, we're not the only people that see that he's good, man. There's a lot of other teams out there that see someone like that, a young defensive pillar you can build your team around. Like that's going to
2 touchdowns last year. They will flick on the highlight reel and see him stiff arm Teddy Bridgewater right onto the injury report. Like, I am sending you immediately to the pup list. And like, they're going to look at that play and go, damn, we can use him.
I mean, props to Duggar. He's saying all the right things. He said that he wants to play here. He's going to let his agent deal with that. So he's saying all the right things. Nothing bad about Duggar. Nothing bad about anything right now. It's just when you have a young player who's that good, it's just he's gonna call for a lot of money. And I do hope that the Patriots pony up and do it. They do still pay people. People think that they don't. They do pay people, but it's just like, it has to be on their terms, whether it's years, guaranteed money, whatever. So I don't know. I hope Duggar stays. He's one of the guys who I think if you have him, you have the 3 Joneses who are there. I mean, that's a great secondary to build around. Speaking of Jack Jones, by the way, on the field, playing,
still playing.
Like nothing happened. Thoughts, guys? Because I don't know what I thought was going to happen because like everything's still ongoing, but I don't know what I thought, but he's still there.
More people should bring guns to the airport if this is the case. Seems like nothing fucking happened.
I mean, Belichick's saying he's great. I don't know.
Well, the one thing to keep in mind, Jack Jones was practicing with the 2s. Wasn't practicing with the first team guys. So maybe that's a little bit of punishment in Belichick's world, a little bit of the punishment being like, you screw up that bad. Okay, we're going to keep you for now until your trial. But guess what? You're with the backups right now.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that's what that was. That was Belichick sending a message like, listen, you're still here. We want you on the team, assuming everything's good. But like, you got to be punished somehow just for the sheer stupidity of what you did.
Yeah.
So it's like, we're going to put you with the.
I think he probably would have been practicing with the 2s anyway. So I don't know. It's a point.
No, he would have been with the 1s. He would have been with the 1s. Yes, he would have. Without that, yes, he would have been.
I don't know.
He's gonna be a big part of the secondary, like you guys are saying. So if he's gonna be a big part of the secondary, why wouldn't he be practicing with the 1s?
Yeah, but we just took a corner first overall. We got Jalen Mills, who's apparently a Bill Belichick favorite. Like, we have Marcus Jones, who had a far better year. Well. Yep, Jonathan Jones, who's been here forever. Like,
so many Jones.
If he didn't get arrested for bringing an arsenal to the airport and he was working with the second team, I would be like, oh my God, they don't have Jack Jones with the first team. Like, it doesn't particularly surprise me. Granted, it could be because of the airport thing. I think it's a valid point. You could believe that. You could speculate. But
he also got suspended at the end of the year by the team, so there's a whole there's some things going on. So maybe
he could have been with the second team just because of that. Like, it's tough to say.
Who knows? I'm sure there were a few things going on there, but Jonathan Jones got a new contract. That gives me hope for Duggar. Jonathan Jones is one of the guys, homegrown, drafted, got a contract. solid, so Belichick does pay guys when he
that's a good
sees that
point.
they're there. So that's
Juwan
a-
Bentley
pay
too, I
Duggar.
think, right?
Jawan Bentley got one. Yeah, big
Yeah.
one. He's another.
If you're
That's
gonna
a
pay those
great.
two guys, imagine not paying Duggar.
That's a great a trio to build around. Bentley for the linebackers, Barmore obviously for the defensive line, who it was Barmore's birthday yesterday. Barmore, and then you have Jonathan Jones corner, Duggar as a safety in that room. That's a real good, trio or force in there to kind of build the defense around. So
Also, shout out to Christian Barmore for having his first kid today.
Ooh,
he
damn,
did.
what timing.
He did.
Oh, he's got dad strength now.
Oh,
He's got dad strength. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Him and Judon, 20 sacks apiece.
Yep.
That's gonna
And
happen.
Uche's gonna get 15.
I hope so.
Yeah, I guess there's no room for your boy Perkins then.
Let's not listen. I didn't even put Perkins on the list. I could talk
is he
about
practicing?
him if you want.
Is there any news on Ronnie Perkins?
So moving on.
He's been practicing.
So moving on. We don't need to talk about Perkins. We're talking about other guys. You don't need to bring, you don't need to talk about what's understood doesn't need to be said. And it's understood how good Ronnie Perkins is. So we're good.
Okay.
So we're good. Lawrence Guy reported, held out for a little bit, didn't show up to mandatory practice or whatever it was. Showed up and he said that he's here with a smile on his face. He's doing what the team wants and everything for him. I mean, kind of fine. I mean, I don't think
somebody must have told him his age. He's like, "Oh, you're right. I guess I'll show up."
I mean, I don't know if he's necessarily pumped to be there without a contract and had to give in, because when you have that staring contest between the player and the team, there's always going to be a loser there, and I'm sure he doesn't feel great, but he's there. Big part of the defense when he's there and healthy. Between him and Barmore, like we just said, on the defensive line, D tackle there. That's great. I don't know. Were you guys surprised guys showed up? Are you happy he showed up? How do you think he plays this year? You think he still just kind of keeps his consistent play?
A little surprised, but also happy.
Yeah. I would say the same thing. I don't know if his play could diminish a little bit, but it doesn't affect the team a whole lot. We have plenty more behind him, and Barmore, who's better than him and younger. So
yeah,
he's used for a very specific thing anyway. He's really just the nose tackle, important.
Yeah, I mean, you can spell him in and out and all that stuff. So a few other things kind of want to go around. Al, Liam, did you guys have any pressing things that you want to talk about? Because like I said, I got a list of a couple other things here, but I didn't know there was anything that was on your guys' tongue, or I'll just run down my little list some more.
I got a couple things, so I'll let Liam go first.
Yeah, I just have the one.
Go.
So obviously, I usually have my eyes fixated on Booty, and I've been really trying to keep an eye on him. And I noticed there's not a whole lot of booty guys out there. And in fact, I saw Douglas caught a touchdown
on my list. Yep.
I think it was on Thursday or Friday. I forget which one it was, but he caught a touchdown. I'm not seeing a whole lot of Kayshawn out there. And that kind of worries me because the upside, I wanted to see him blow up. And
we all thought that, man. Well, not even y'all. 2 out of the 3 people here did. Me and you. I remember Al wasn't as hot on Booty as me.
Yeah. Al's not so much of a Booty guy, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but more power to him.
I think he's going to get cut.
Do you guys think that, because I get the word coming out, you mentioned DeMario Douglas. I guess he's been practicing more with Mac, practicing with the ones a little bit. There's he is the 5th guy. There's Parker, Juju, Tyquan Thornton, and Kendrick Bourne. And then there's Douglas right there.
Call me crazy. I'm rooting for him to fail. I want Kayshawn Booty.
I didn't see this coming. I really thought that Booty was the guy.
I was like, he is so cut. Douglas is not making.
I think I even thought that maybe he would make the team. I think I mentioned it when we talked about the guys that they drafted too. I thought he was going to kind of show up as like a specialist, like a return guy, gadget. He's quick as shit. He's small. I guess he's put on like 20 pounds of muscle since he got drafted. So I don't know. Al, do you think Douglas has leapfrogged? I mean, he kind of has leapfrogged Booty in the loose depth chart right now.
How can you overlook Booty?
He definitely has, because if it was only one day that he was practicing with the ones, it'd be like, all right, fine. You need another receiver. All right, maybe then, Kayshawn Booty comes in for a day and practices with the ones. But no, it's been consistently. Douglas has been with the ones and Booty's been with the twos. So that shows you right there that there's something with Demario Douglas. Maybe it's his ability to create separation. Maybe they see him as the next big slot guy, and then you move Juju around. So who knows what they're thinking? But that means something. The first 3 days, you're with the ones. That means something. That means that Bill O'Brien sees something in him that he really, really likes.
Yeah.
I think that means something for Booty too, where it's like, I guess I saw one tweet where, he beat, I think he either beat Gonzalez or someone. I forget who he beat, but open in the end zone, dropped the touchdown pass.
I saw that.
It's like, I did not see it coming. I thought that Booty, I know he had all of his issues coming from LSU. That's where he came from, right? LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just thought he was going to crack that rotation, that loose rotation, with the fourth or fifth receiver. But
yeah,
it seems like it's Douglas, which, I mean, honestly, like if I had to pick, I'd rather have Booty. He's a bigger guy. It seemed to have more upside. If Douglas beats him out, then he does. It's not like I'm going to root against Douglas. I'm happy if Douglas works out. But like
whoever's on the team week 1 has my support.
Yeah.
But I would rather hey Sean be out.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Because it's not fun if we sit here and say, anybody who makes this is fun. I'd rather have Booty. If I had to pick fight to the death, I'm hoping Booty suffocates Douglas. But
yes.
I mean, you see what I did there.
It was
isn't that always the goal, to get suffocated by Booty?
Yeah, it was Isaiah Bolden that he beat
Isaiah Bolden, that's who it was. Fast guy. Fastest.
Also probably gonna get cut.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, who was it? It was him in the other corner. I mean, the other cornerback. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, they're fast, so maybe one of them make it, but I don't know. But yeah, that Booty and Douglas thing, definitely surprising. I know Douglas is fast, so that'd be nice if he did, kind of find his way in there.
You got enough fast guys. I want big bodies. I want contested catches.
Yeah, I thought, I don't know, maybe he'll show up. That would be wild though. Al, I saw you do the little scissor cutting thing. If he gets cut, lands on the practice squad, that would
Yeah. We need to see him in a preseason game. That's when I'll make my definitive. I'm not giving up on Booty until I see him.
No, gotta see it.
Right,
gotta see it. We are 4 days into training camp, guys.
Yeah,
come 3 days, 4. Once people listen, whatever. But like, let's pump the brakes. Offenses looked weird. Defense looked great. These guys are just now on the field. Like, let's see. As of right now, this is where it's at.
And people forget that the reason that the offense looks so bad is because last year, what was the biggest weakness that the Patriots offense had, besides everything, really? But what was
gonna say?
Yeah, besides really, what was the one big thing they couldn't do?
Separate.
Right? Where couldn't they score?
Anything? Oh, red zone.
Zone.
They couldn't score in the red zone. They were the worst red zone efficiency in the league. First 4 practices and in all of OTAs and in spring and everything, red zone efficiency. That's what they've been working on. Yeah. So you got 20 yards of the field. Right. You have 20 yards of the field to work with. The defense has the advantage. Yep. And the defense is going to have the advantage. So guess what? Put a little bit of merit behind, the production, but guess what? Don't put all of your eggs in that basket. Because again, if it was whole field, okay, then you can be like, all right, not good. But again, it's 3 days of training camp as we're recording. 3 days have passed. Who cares? There's some things you can take away.
It's crazy. That's another thing. And I wanted to get, because I think Liam, you and I have talked about it last year. Al, I don't know if we've had an actual conversation about it. How much stock do you put into an offense having a bad day or defense having a bad day in practice? Because you're going up against the same team. So they know a little bit more about the other side of the ball just because, just like they're there. So they see it more, they hear it. It's like, I don't get as worked up if the offense had a bad day, because in my eyes, I don't see it as that. I see it as our defense had a good day because it's our defense, our offense. So it's kind of one of those win-win things to me. And you can say it's a cop-out answer, but if the offense has a bad day and the defense has a good one, I look at it from that sense. If vice versa, I look at it as the offense had a good day, because I just don't think there's any negative to one side winning the day or whatever. I think Mac Jones even said it, where he was like, we hope to have a lot of competitive days. So I don't do you guys put too much stock into that? Because it's your own team. Either way.
And call me crazy. I think every training camp for the vast majority of teams, maybe not like the Chiefs, but the vast majority of teams, defense is always going to be better in training camp.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to learn on offense than there is on defense. They've seen the same coverages and whatnot, especially if you've been with the Patriots for a while. It'll be a little bit of an adjustment for rookies and whatnot, but in the end, it's still the same idea. Cover the man, tackle the ball. And it's with offense, it's like, a whole new scheme. Bill O'Brien's coming in, whitewashing everything, building it all back up. And I think 80% of teams are all through training camp. If you were just to look at all the days as a whole, the offense is usually way worse off than the defense.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you're doing red zone defense, red zone offense, just like you said, Al. Like you're working more, and Liam, you just said it. On offense, you're more working on specific situations, specific techniques, specific things. Defense, it's more of, hey guys, so like we're gonna have this package in here. Let's just win the play. Like no matter what happens, like let's beat the block, let's bat down the ball, let's tackle the guy when he catches it. That's basically what it is. Not simplifying it, because it's still a difficult phase of the game. But offense, Liam, like you said, Bill O'Brien coming in, they're installing a bunch of things. So the offense isn't going to look as great right now, because they're still kind of working through everything. Again, we're not even a week in. And I think everybody kind of gets that, but it is, you're seeing a few people who, it's a little, people are kind of saying like, oh, so is this reminiscent of last year and everything? And I think Evan Lazar, Patriots supporter, even said like it is completely different from last year. And completely different from last year. Like last year it was bad.
And that was something that I was going to mention. That was going to be one of my points, was that the offense, it just looks more crisp. It just looks like it flows better. It's a functional offense now. And not only that, Bill O'Brien is being so hands-on with this offense. Like there was one point on Wednesday where he was playing corner to show receivers, all right, when they hit you on this side, this is where you got to go. All right, if it's a slant route, you got to cross like at this specific point. You got to go off like this shoulder, whatever it was. But the point being, Bill O'Brien is a blessing to have this year.
Our savior
right now, because you don't
number
have
one addition on offense this year.
The team really does go where he leads.
Right. You don't have, Joe Judge and Matt Patricia over the Walkies being like, okay, who's calling the next play? Am I calling it? Are you calling it? Like, there's no confusion. There's none of that. And even the Patriots offensive players, Trent Brown said how much that he loved working with Bill O'Brien, brings back the days of like traditional Patriots football. Mike Gesicki saying how much he likes working with it.
Yep.
And how about the little tidbit that supposedly O'Brien showed Gesicki and Hunter Henry clips of the old Gronk and Hernandez days. Like that's not to be taken lightly.
That excites me, because if you guys remember that one year that we really had, year, if you can get close in the same stratosphere as that production, that duo there, not getting DeAndre Hopkins doesn't mean shit.
Right.
Does not mean a thing, because it does not matter who you have at wide receiver, because your number one and number two options are your tight ends, which I'm not saying it's going to be quite like that. But like, if you can even get close, God, which I think they will. Hunter Henry's going to be more of your on the end of the line tight end, more a little bit closer, and Gesicki's going to be the one that you kind of spread out, which I think is what we are all expecting. And I think this will be unlike last year, where what we're expecting, as long as it makes sense, will most likely happen because it makes sense. Because you don't have people trying to overthink. The
floor is very low. As long as Gesicki scores more than one single touchdown, then he's already beaten out Jonnu Smith. So
Jonnu Smith. That's going to be one of those players where it's going to be a trivia question. Who were the two free agent tight ends that the Patriots got in the first day of the 2021 free agency? People are going to be like, okay, Hunter Henry, I remember.
Who caught the only touchdown when Tom Brady came back to Foxborough?
People are people are gonna be like,
I thought Henry was the second day. I thought they signed Jonnu.
No, it was back to back. It was
signed Jonnu first.
Oh, it was like within hours. Al, I remember because I was at work.
I knew Jonnu because I was at work too. I knew Jonnu signed first.
And
he was
Hunter
the first
Henry
signing.
Hours later, if that.
I thought he was the second day for some reason. I don't know why, because I think I saw on Zolak and Bertrand that when the show started, the breaking news was they signed Hunter Henry. So that's why I thought he was the second day.
No, I remember because I remember being like, oh my God, I think that's what really sent off the whole like great spending spree of 2021. I think that's like really what did it, was because of that. But yeah, no, they were back to back. Didn't end up like we thought it would, but oh well. Oh well.
No, it did not.
Oh well. But yeah, Al, what else? What else you got? Any other tidbits?
Yeah. So the lack of use of Tyquan Thornton and Kendrick Bourne is a little bit concerning. The first 2 days, and now granted, I didn't see what Tyquan Thornton's stats were on Friday, but Wednesday and Thursday combined, he only had one target in 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s. That was a little bit like weird, because especially where Thornton, people want to see him take a second-year jump, especially because of the speed. Yeah. That was a little bit concerning. And then Kendrick Bourne not really getting involved. That was also a little concerning, especially since he's in a contract year. And people are saying, well, Matt Patricia's not there anymore to put him in the doghouse. So maybe with Bill O'Brien, he could be, that type of guy. I would like to see both of them involved a little bit more, which would be good. Let's see. I'm just going to fire off other tidbits real quick. Christian Gonzalez. Yeah, yep. Christian Gonzalez looking really good. Having
that was on my
moments.
Yep. I said Gonzalez fitting in perfect. I think they asked, who was it? Jonathan Jones, how he was doing. And Jonathan Jones, like, his smile ear to ear was like, yeah, he's bought in. He's good. I think that's going to be, I mean, shit. I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to wait till we do our regular season, some predictions. For some end of year awards, maybe things like that. Just a little teaser there. But I think Gonzalez is going to have a very good year.
I do
very
too.
Good year.
And he had his rookie moments. He got beat on a couple balls back to back, but then
of course
he bounced back nicely. So he's going to be fine. I know Liam's not going to like to hear this, but Juju's getting involved the second and third day. So very, very good. Hey, listen. Would you rather him just not be effective and then hurt your football team?
Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Then you're a masochist. What else? Let's see.
Not wrong.
Let's see. What else?
Ty Montgomery. I got Ty Montgomery on there. I guess what was it, the first day he got 4 touchdowns?
Yeah, first time. Yeah, and then Trace McSorley the second day. By the way, that's another thing. Get rid of Trace McSorley, please. Just have Mac and Bailey Zappi. Don't close your mouth. It's gross. Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. Like, just have them take all the reps. You don't need a third quarterback. I don't need McSorley. He's the reason that Montgomery got hurt, because he threw a low pass that was late and it was incomplete. Then he collided with someone at the goal line. You don't need Ty Montgomery out again. He was out for 16 games last year. We need him on the field.
This sounds like a Ty Montgomery problem, not a Trace McSorley problem.
Yes, it's a Trace McSorley problem because he can't throw the ball.
No,
he should have been cut today.
Ty Montgomery should just be tougher.
How about McSorley throws a better pass?
Ty Montgomery has, I guess, reverted, not in a bad way, but just like in a going back to his normal position. Instead of being a running back, I guess he is pretty much a wide receiver now. I'm sure they'll still line him up back there.
There's the answer to our DeAndre Hopkins problem.
Ty Montgomery. Listen, Ty Montgomery being, I keep forgetting that he can be utilized as a weapon, not a fucking bazooka, but just, kind of like the gun that you pull out of your sock when you're like, you think you had us, but boom, we got Ty Montgomery in the corner of the end zone. He's a smart fucking
player. I do like Ty Montgomery.
Yeah, so I think he'll have a surprisingly good year. Not anything crazy, not Pro Bowl shit like that, but I think we're going to look back
for a few touchdowns.
Yeah, I think we're going to look back and be like, shit, Ty Montgomery, he earned his playing time. I think that's what it'll be. But yeah, Ty Montgomery I had on there. My fucking boy, Chad Ryland, kicker, showing up and showing the fuck out.
5 for 5 on kicks, I think.
Him and Bryce Baringer, what the fuck you say, double B. They have been killing it, I guess. So those might be the best 2 picks of the draft. The punter and the kicker. Like,
I get it. After that last game, I want good special teams too. But I can't believe we're getting.
That's what I'm saying. People are laughing about it, but guess what? How important
I'm laughing
is it to have a good kicker and a good punter?
Apparently very good. Even though
Very
Naeem Hines is out for the season, which is a relief because I don't want to ever see that dude ever again.
No, that was the worst. That was the worst. Two
sucked.
kick, 2 returns for touchdown. That was
that.
no. Naheem Hines, and you never wish injuries on anybody, but the Madden curse works in mysterious ways. Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills on the cover of Madden. Naheem Hines
might be a bit of a reach there. I still think something bad's going to happen to Josh Allen. Not holding out hope, but I'm holding out hope.
I think that the Madden curse is going to do a number on the Buffalo Bills this year. So we'll see. I guess since we're talking about, we're going to get back into training camp real quick just to round that out. But I guess since we're talking about other teams in the division, Jalen Ramsey out for the first, at least for the first 2 games that they play the Patriots. Love that.
Come on.
That's great.
I was so fired up. I mean, not that he's very good, but one less thing,
Again, you never want to wish injury, but when it helps your team, it's exciting to know that a good player is not going to be on the other team. That's really what it comes down to. So Jalen Ramsey, obviously hope you get healthy after the Patriots games, come right on back. That'd be great. But
he went to FSU. I don't really like him that much. He could stay hurt.
I didn't have any more about the about training camp. Mac Jones, I guess, has looked, the whole offense as a whole, like we said, has looked kind of iffy, but we kind of touched on that. Red zone offense, it's the toughest offense to run. That's why teams put such an emphasis on it, which is why the Patriots are, because Al, like you said, we were the worst in the league last year. It's unacceptable. So need to figure that out. But other than that, you guys have any kind of final thoughts on training camp so far from what we've seen?
Nope. Actually, one quick thing. They asked Mac Jones about his relationship with Bill Belichick, and he's like, yeah, I think we're good. And then Belichick was like, yeah, I think all the play, like, I understand why the question had to be asked, but like, what is Mac supposed to say in that situation?
But dude, I don't care. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, what are they? I mean, we just saw a 20-year run where the quarterback and coach didn't have a loving relationship, but they, respected each other to the point where now Tom Brady's crying whenever Belichick gets brought up. So I don't listen. Yeah, because I think they asked what if they think that Mac Jones is going to provide the leadership that you expect, and Belichick said, we wouldn't have the players out there if we didn't think that. So kind of, I feel like Belichick's kind of done with the bullshit. Like, they're stupid questions, just like any sort of relationship. Yeah, there's ups and downs. Like, just move on. Mac Jones is the guy. We'll see. Big year coming up for him. Big year coming up for Belichick too. Like we said last episode. But so I think we'd end it on just real quick. Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook is taking a visit. Watch. He's taking a visit. Yeah, Cook watch. Here we go. He's taking a visit with the Jets. Matt Groh, player personnel. I believe that's what he is for the Patriots, right?
Yep.
Matt Groh, I think.
Director of player personnel.
Yeah, he said that they've been in contact with them. They're trying to set up a meeting as well. But Dalvin Cook, ex-running back from the Vikings, did say that he thinks the chances are pretty high that he signs with the Jets. So first and foremost, I want to say I'm sorry about that, Dalvin Cook. And
our condolences go out to you.
And 2, I guess, what do you guys think of that? You guys think he's even going to make it out in New York? The whole thing, do the Jets let him leave without a contract? What the fuck are they going to do?
I mean,
Jets are trying to build a super team here. Everything about it spells.
They're trying to build a super team on like a foundation that's built on like wet mud.
And
like, it's not even.
And the last time a super team was built, the 2011 Philadelphia Eagles, how well did that go for that?
Namdi, right? That was Namdi.
Liam, you can tell us. You can tell us.
Please don't ever say his name. Please don't ever say his name.
Namdi,
they won 2 games. That's how that went. Yeah. Although I do think if we gave Vince Young more of an opportunity, he would have won more games. But that's not here nor there. The fact that
you said we about a Philly team.
Not here nor there.
It's pretty sad.
But I'm speaking we as in I'm in the Vince Young camp. Vince Young is. He's the greatest college quarterback of all time. Vince Young does deserve to be on the list.
Look, with Dalvin Cook, it comes down to one thing, and one thing.
Another one on the list.
Another one,
Vince Young.
Aren't you so glad I gave you that idea, by the way?
was on
Everyone should love Vince Young.
This is
It
your
shouldn't
list,
be a me thing.
Mike,
Vince Young should be a
aren't
we
you
thing.
glad I gave you that idea to make that
I'm
list?
pumped.
Young-
We'll break it down.
But anyways,
you can end world conflict if you just got everyone in a room together and show them Vince Young.
anyways,
I know about that.
one thing about Dalvin Cook, real quick, it just comes down to this: the Patriots, yeah, they made the offer to DeAndre Hopkins, but they didn't end up getting him. This is for a position that you have your running back of the future if you want to keep him. And we talked about it like last week or the week before. Yeah, he could fit into this offense, but it would be nice to have the weapon. But guess what? If he goes to the Jets and the Patriots don't have a visit with him, like I know we joke about it, but it's going to be true, guys. He's not leaving that building without a contract, especially since Aaron Rodgers took a massive pay cut. And I know we like to joke about Aaron Rodgers and how old he is and the Jets and their misery and failure. But they're trying to build something. And guess what? They now have a bunch of money in cap space and they can get Dalvin Cook.
The Jets are going to suck this year, guys. Like, I don't know what we're talking. Like, I get it. I get that we have to talk about them.
Al's
Dalvin
trying to
Cook,
taper his expectations.
Aaron Rodgers. Listen, the Jets might. You said what? The Dream Team Eagles won 2 games. The Jets will double that up and win 4. I don't think the Jets are going to be not good.
Jets.
Aaron Rodgers is going to start out great. He'll have a couple great games. He'll do fucking discount, double check out my belt. Haven't won a title in a decade. And then they'll end the year. Everybody relax. And then come week 15, you'll start to hear the things. Aaron Rodgers might have checked out earlier in the year. He got lost in the cave again. And he might want to retire. And then he's going to be done. The Jets are going to suck this year. Suck balls. I don't know what that looks like yet. I haven't formulated it out of my mind. I haven't been able to do that. We'll do that when we do our big, season preview thing. But the Jets are going to be horrible. They're not making the playoffs. This is Aaron Rodgers last year. Like, let's move on. And Dalvin Cook, go enjoy New York, buddy, because Al, like you said, he'd be great to be here. We said it last week, but it's not a position of need. There's no real now. If Stevenson was gone or injured or something, then sure, it'd be great to have Dalvin Cook. But you're going to pay a premium for an insurance policy when Pierre Strong, I guess, has showed really good in this preseason. I don't know. I want him here. It'd be nice, but that's fine, dude. Go sign with the Jets. You think that's going to happen? Awesome. It's going to be like the Trent Richardson thing, like when he signed with the Colts. Like, just that's what I think.
Yeah. Big talk.
Yeah, big talk for big talk for the Jets, dude. And then Garrett Wilson, I guess, got hurt in practice today. Like, I mean, and again, it's training camp. These guys will be ready for the season, all that. But it's just you see people dropping like flies. No wonder Judon doesn't want to play until he's 100% healthy. Like, come on, people, come on. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else. You guys have anything you wanna that's pressing to get off your chest before we leave?
Cover the basis.
All right, probably good because I got to get up early in the morning tomorrow. I'm going to Virginia for a wedding for my brother-in-law. Leaving Saturday morning, coming back Sunday night. So that'll be just
I
a
have a wedding tomorrow too. Go us.
Thing. I know. Look at there we go. Quick little thing. But yeah. So if I can find my mouse, we will leave. All right. So found the mouse for Al, Liam. I'm Mike. This is Tuck Will Takes episode 93. We'll see you next week. Hopefully some crazy shit happens with training camp. And I think I just got to say for at least me and Liam here, give us some booty. Just give us some booty. That's all we want.
A surplus of booty.
That's all we want. A surplus of booty. Guys, very nice talking to you. We're out.
Always a pleasure.
Later.